Hello everyone, JH Medium here and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am a full-time traveler and part-time filmmaker currently traveling the world. Today is a very special day because it marks 1 full year since I quit my office job and set out on this journey to live my dream. To celebrate this year, I put together a 1-hour special of one of my favorite trips during this time, my trip to Japan. And for the first time on my channel, I'm going to include a full budget breakdown of our 14-day Japan trip. So definitely stay to the end and find out how much we spent on this trip. So anyways, sit back, relax, and welcome to Japan. Our first stop is Osaka. It's midnight right now and there's still another 2 hours to wait until my flight to Osaka. We're scheduled to arrive around 6 a.m. I can already feel that tomorrow will be a super tiring day, but I'm still really excited for this trip. It looks like Rika's plane landed already. She flew from Hong Kong and we're gonna meet here in Osaka. After dropping off our bags at our hotel in Shinjuku and picking up a 2-day subway pass, we are at the most extravagant district in Osaka, Dotonbori. All of the street food stands look incredible, so we randomly chose a takoyaki spot to have our first taste of Osaka. Takoyaki straight from the grill. It's so hot, I can't even hold it with my hands. I gotta eat this quickly. This takoyaki is so soft. I remember the ones I had in China. I'm not sure if those are real or fake, but those seem to stick in a ball structure much better than this one. It might burn my mouth, but it's really good. Dotonbori already looks really busy during the day, but we must see it at night. So we're gonna leave and go explore somewhere else first and come back when the lights turn on. Just a few minutes subway ride away, we are here at Osaka Castle. The first thing that caught my eye are these black birds, I think crows, flying near the top of the castle. At least visually, this gives the castle a spooky yet grand feeling. This castle was also destroyed and rebuilt many times, with the latest being a restoration from 1997. Walking through this 2-square-kilometer park with no sleep really drained the rest of our energy away. It's time to go back to the hotel for a short nap. Well, that long walk at Osaka Castle is probably not a good idea today. After like a 3-hour rest, we finally have a little bit of energy. So now we're gonna explore the Shinjuku area where we're staying at tonight. I think maybe I expected a little bit more, but this area seems a little bit small. Many of the stores are unfortunately shut down. All of the restaurants seem to be selling that deep fried skewer, which I think is the most famous dish in Shinjuku. But I'm not feeling deep fried food tonight, so I think we're gonna go have something else. Well, Rika cannot get out of the gates. Don't know what's going on. Both of them seem super confused. In the end, I think the station manager just gave up and let her through. Compared to the deep fried skewers at Shinjuku, I'm more interested in that Ichiran ramen. This Ichiran is in the basement and we're gonna order using those machines back there. The medium noodles are the perfect texture, and it's just incredible coated with that rich broth. The chashu is okay, I just wish there's more than 2 pieces. I probably should have ordered the larger combo. Ichiran is not the fanciest or the most extravagant ramen in the world, but it is a safe choice that can never be wrong. What a great meal at Ichiran. Let's see if Rika can successfully go through the gates this time. It worked! What a day for our first day in Japan. Day 2 in Osaka, and once again we're in Shinsekai. We woke up really late today, so we're gonna go have lunch directly. We're gonna have some okonomiyaki. We came here right when the shop opened, but people were waiting in line already, so we have to keep on waiting for the next batch. We ordered a pork and shrimp okonomiyaki and a pork yakisoba. So it turns out they still make it at the big table and then they bring it over here onto our hot plate to keep everything warm. Let's eat. It's just a fluffy, savory pancake. And I love the seaweedy flakes on top. We probably put the yakisoba on the hot plate a little too long, so it's a bit crispy now, but the flavor is still great. Very small and cozy restaurant. You probably have to wait in line for a while, but it's definitely worth it. Awesome food. After lunch, we walked around Shinsekai a bit, and now it's time to head over to our first site of the day, the Umeda Sky Building. To be honest, the observatory was not what drew me here, but I really want to film the escalator with my 360 camera. What's so special about a boring escalator, you ask? Well, check this out. At the top of the building, you have a panoramic view of Osaka. I like to zoom in on the vehicles far away. It's like looking at a miniature city. Well, it's not quite dinner time yet, but we're a bit tired, so we found this perfect island to sit and rest a bit. We're at Nakanoshima Island. There are many government offices on this island, and people probably come here to chill after work, and it's definitely really, really peaceful. For our last night in Osaka, we are back at Dotonbori again because we gotta see it at night. Almost all the restaurants we wanted to go to had a huge line, so instead we're here to eat Koko Ichibanya curry. It still looks incredible. Crispy, simple, and delicious. Well, this was definitely not what we were planning on having, but it's not a bad decision at all. And that is our last night in Osaka, Japan. It seems like every time I come to Osaka, it's always a stopover point to visit the rest of Kansai. But nevertheless, this was still a very enjoyable first stop. It's day 3 here in Kansai, and we just left Osaka, and now we're taking the Kintetsu line to Nara. The deer of Nara Park are wild animals. They can occasionally attack people, so be careful. We got some deer crackers, and I guess for the experience, I'm gonna try feeding the deer. The first few deer were pretty polite, but when the other deer nearby realized I had food, we had a big problem.
Run away. Stop, stop. 它又咬我的衣服了。Run away.
Turns out that these Nara deers are actually quite aggressive. I mean, seriously, just look at that. Oh man, how is he gonna outrun that deer? Well, after being attacked by a million deer, we found this cute little udon shop right next to the pond, and I think this is a good time to just rest for a bit. That running away from deers is actually very, very exhausting. Rika ordered a cold udon with beef and a poached egg, and I got a hot udon with beef and tofu. The udon is soft yet still has a nice chew to it, and the beef is just so tender. Love the broth as well. After that warm meal, of course, we gotta have some ice cream to balance it out. This one even has a deer-shaped cookie on top. Wow, that's really good. Now we're going back to Nara Park and it's time for Rika to try and feed the deer. How will she do? Okay, this deer is just politely walking up to her. Maybe they're all full from the morning already. Osaka and Nara are two must-visit places in the Kansai region. Even though I've been to both before, this trip was still filled with many fresh experiences. Yeah, some naughty deer bit my shirt to try and get the crackers, but most are still polite and adorable. Okay, now it's time to head to our next city. Good morning everyone, today we are in Kyoto, Japan. It is 6:30 a.m. right now and our first stop in Kyoto is Fushimi Inari Taisha. It's so quiet here, I don't even want to speak too loudly and disturb this serenity. Okay, maybe we need a different soundtrack to help us wake up. The best time to visit these sites in Kyoto is definitely early in the morning. Very few people are here right now, so most of the pathways are completely empty. There are around 10,000 of these torii gates here. In Japanese mythology, Inari is the deity of rice and agriculture, while the foxes are the messenger. That's why foxes are considered the sacred animal in the shrine. I don't think there are any wild foxes here, but there are so many cats. It's only 8 o'clock right now and all the school groups and tour groups are here. So even though it wasn't completely empty at 6 a.m. like I wanted, at least we avoided all of this. Rika went and bought some souvenirs.
再也不搞冰箱贴了，但是它实在是太显二了。
Okay, breakfast time.
Finally breakfast time.
Japanese convenience stores have so many different food options. We got 2 dishes, 1 rice dish and 1 noodle dish from Family Mart and we're gonna try it right now.
颜色看起来很像一种模型，就是摆在店门口那种模型，非常鲜艳。
Caramel egg pudding with a souffle on top. Such a fat dessert. So how would you rate this convenience store meal?
6 out of 10.
I think my dish is probably like a 5 out of 10. The pudding, 7 out of 10. In each city we visit, we always want to try and do something that's a little bit less touristy and something the locals might do in their regular daily life. So right now we're near the Kamo River bank, just having a slow walk. Kamogawa directly translates the duck river. I want to see the ducks. Where are the ducks?
下雨了。
Well, that is a bit of a problem. I do not have my umbrella. Do you have your umbrella?
No.
Oh, great. The rain is getting stronger, but luckily we are near the busiest shopping district in Kyoto, along Shijo and Kawaramachi. So I guess now it's time to follow the girlfriend to all the cute little shops in this area. Rika went and bought a souvenir again. What did you buy?
A cute wallet.
As we start on this trip to travel the world, it's a little bit sad that we start to realize that everything we collect on these trips are all digital, including this vlog we're making right now. That's why it's nice to have some physical items to collect our memories as well. Rika and I spent the afternoon browsing this shop called Traveler's Factory, and we both got 2 new travel notebooks. In this notebook, I'll start collecting stamps, collecting tickets, or just anything we can stick inside. This is not a sponsored segment, I just think this is a great thing to have. For dinner, we walked all the way to Omiya to have some oyakodon. This literally translates to parent and child rice ball because it has chicken and egg. Kinda dark right there. The raw egg yolk might not look too appealing to some, but in Japan apparently they have a way to remove the harmful bacteria so the raw egg is safe to consume. We also got a beef bowl and some yakitori, but the best part is still the oyakodon. It's day 2 here in Kyoto. We woke up very early once again, and today we're gonna go to Arashiyama. Rika is still very sleepy, right? Waking up at 5 a.m. every day is certainly not the most comfortable thing to do on vacation, but when we get these surreal views all to ourselves, it makes everything worth it. The lush green, the morning birds chirping, and the sun rays shining through the bamboo makes this entire experience feel like a dream. Around 8 o'clock, more people start to arrive. So now it's time to explore the other areas around Arashiyama before our 10 a.m. Sagano train ride. Another must-do activity in Arashiyama is taking the Sagano train. Well, this doesn't seem like the best seat. We're facing backwards from the direction we're going. And the window doesn't open either. A little bit disappointing, but hopefully the ride will still be beautiful. Sitting on the right side of the train will definitely be better for this ride. Unfortunately, our ticket gave us the left side, which only has a view for the first 5 minutes or so. But I guess overall, it was still a fun ride. Even though the ride was short, at least it brought us to a very aesthetic train station. It really does seem the train brought us to the middle of nowhere. Even the closest JR train station is a 10-minute walk away. We took the train from Umahori Station back to Kyoto, and now we're gonna have a quick lunch before heading to Kiyomizu-dera in the afternoon. It's a bright sunny afternoon here in Kyoto. We're at the Yasaka Jinja Shrine, but guess what? It's 35 degrees. And with the humidity, it feels like 38 degrees. Today is the hottest day of our entire trip. We cannot stay outdoors any longer, so we found a matcha ice shop. But we still have to line up outside, so the store owner gave us fans. It did not help. But now our savior is here. so much matcha flavor. It's not watery at all. It's like eating a matcha cloud. That was without a doubt the best dessert we had in Japan so far. The best matcha ice ever. Before heading up to Kiyomizu-dera, we are in the streets of Sanenzaka. For our last destination of today, we are at Kiyomizu-dera. Originally, we planned to come here at 6 a.m. in the morning, just like the rest of the destinations in Kyoto. But we wanted to come here to watch the sunset, which is apparently very beautiful at this angle. Of course, that means coming here at the same time as all the other tourists. So, this is what we see. To be honest though, I think Kiyomizu is one of the few sites in Kyoto that look just as grand, even with many people here. After a short rest at our hotel, we are at a nearby ramen shop for dinner. This place specializes in chicken ramen. I got a salt-based chicken ramen, and this might be the most tender chicken breast I've ever had. Rika ordered a creamy chicken ramen, slow cooked for 7 hours. The one that Rika ordered is even better with that thick chicken broth. This small little ramen shop at the side of the road, I cannot recommend it enough. It was incredible. Day 3 in Kyoto, and we decided not to wake up at 5 a.m. today. We're on our way to Nazenji Temple and we're gonna have brunch now. Rika got an omurice and I got a shoyu ramen. There are very few restaurants in the Nazenji area, so I guess this is a great place to have lunch. The ramen was just average, okay, but the omurice was delicious. We are now here inside Tenju-an, which is a Buddhist temple and probably the most aesthetic garden in Nazenji. Just look at all this greenery around here. All around you hear the soothing sounds of the birds chirping, the small stream. There's even a koi pond in here. This is our last night here in Kyoto and the Kansai region. What do you think was your favorite thing about Kyoto?
Matcha ice and Tianshouan.
I guess my favorite was still the Arashiyama region and the bamboo forest, the small train. It all felt very romantic. Look at that cotton candy sky. For our last meal in Kyoto, we found a soba shop just off Shijo. Unfortunately, the menu is completely in Japanese and Google Translate did not really help. From what we can make out of the kanji, I got a tempura soba and Rika got a curry soba with chicken. Kyoto has always been my favorite city in Japan. I love the peacefulness of the temples as well as the beauty of the natural scenery here. But the key to these stunning views is to wake up early and avoid the crowd. However, even in the crowded places, Kyoto's magical feeling is still there. This city never fails to impress me. And that's it for our trip in Kyoto. Now we're here at Kyoto Station and we're going to take the Shinkansen all the way to the Kanto region. We're gonna go to Yokohama, Kamakura, and Tokyo. See you guys in Kanto. We are on the Shinkansen bullet train traveling from Kyoto to Yokohama, and we got these bento boxes. They look so much better than regular bento boxes anywhere else in the world, so I'm so excited to try these. The only thing slightly disappointing is that these bento boxes seem to be cold and there's nowhere I can find to heat them. This looks better than the self-heating ones. The flavor is good, an 8 out of 10, but because I cannot heat it up, some points must be taken off to like a 6.5. After blasting past Nagoya, we arrived in Yokohama, the biggest city in Kanagawa Prefecture. Yokohama will be our base to explore the surrounding areas of Kanagawa. Tomorrow we're going to go to Kamakura, but right now we are heading to the famous Cup Noodles Museum. This is the packaging for the first ever instant noodles invented in 1958. Look at all those instant noodles. So delicious, right? Mr. Momofuku, the inventor of the instant noodles. No wonder there's so many ramen shops all over the world called Momofuku. They're all named after him. After seeing so many instant noodles on display, we have to go eat some as well. There's so many different noodle choices here. We got pho from Vietnam, mee goreng from Indonesia, laksa from Malaysia, Italian spaghetti, and of course, good old Lanzhou ramen from China. But since we're at the Instant Noodles Museum, we're just gonna get some small bowls of instant noodles. You cannot go wrong with a bowl of instant noodles. The Cup Noodles Museum really gave some cool insights to one of the most universal food items in the world. Do check it out if you have some time in Yokohama. After having instant ramen for snack, we're gonna have some actual ramen for dinner. Rika ordered a black garlic oil ramen and I got a tonkatsu. Tonkatsu will always be my favorite type of ramen. What a great way to end this noodle-themed day. Day 2 in Kanagawa Prefecture, and today we took the train to the beautiful coastal city, Kamakura. Why are we hiking so early in the morning? We have arrived in the Itinerary Benten Shrine, and it is said that if you wash your money in this shrine, it will be purified by God and thus rewarding you with more money. And of course here, washing money literally means soaking your money inside the shrine's water, not the other thing. What are we doing now?
我们现在要去洗钱，字面意思 washing money。
After the money washing ritual, Rika is getting a fortune card. Here you must soak the card in water in order to reveal the fortune. So this means that Rika is about to get super rich, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a millionaire.
After a 20-minute walk, we are back at Komachi Street to have some snacks before exploring the rest of Kamakura. So each of these Buddha cakes represent a different type of blessing and good luck. I got the blueberry and cream cheese Buddha cake, which means good luck for romance. And Rika got the red bean Buddha cake, which is for beauty. Cheers. Okay, sorry Buddha, I have to bite into you now. Wow, that's really good. Snack time over, and now it's time to head to the sea. We got an Inoden one-day pass so we can take the tram freely throughout Kamakura. After shooting the trams along the sea for over an hour, we are at a seaside cafe to have lunch while continuing to look out at the beautiful waves. After eating the Buddha cake earlier today, we gotta come visit the actual Kotokuin Big Buddha. Now we are racing to go see the sunset. Hopefully there will still be light by the time we get there. Have you ever seen the ukiyo-e artwork, The Great Wave off Kanagawa, a depiction of Sagami Bay, with Mount Fuji in the background? Look at this view right here. I'd say it doesn't come any closer than this. During our last morning in Yokohama, we found this small local shop that serves affordable set menus for lunch. I must include it in this video because this was one of my favorite restaurants in our Japan trip. Rika got an unadon and I ordered a tonkatsu. The set also comes with steamed egg and vegetables. The katsu is as crispy as it gets. Sometimes when you go to a city, you just gotta look at Google Maps and see where all the locals eat, rather than going to like an internet famous restaurant. They even gave us these free chocolate cookies for dessert. So that's it for our short 2-day stay in the Kanagawa Prefecture in Yokohama and Kamakura. This region is definitely severely underrated in Japan, so I highly suggest taking a day trip or staying a night or two in this area. After taking a short 50-minute train ride, we arrived in Japan's capital city, Tokyo. Since we're staying in Asakusa, the first stop is the Sensoji Temple. We're gonna go check out our fortune at Sensoji. I got number 52. Let's take a look. Damn, I got bad luck. I'm gonna tie it here so I don't take it home with me. Rika got a omamori for her friend's wedding. This one symbolizes good luck for relationship. For our first meal in Tokyo, we're once again having ramen. I got some miso ramen, and Rika got a green spicy ramen. That miso pork flavor is just divine. Rika's green ramen is also delicious. I think the green comes from a special green chili pepper, giving it a fresh, spicy flavor. I honestly think this ramen shop hidden inside the small alleyway is my favorite ramen of this trip so far. Just as we finished dinner, the rain started pouring down. So we went back to the hotel and called it a day. Today we are going to
The happiest place in Japan,
Tokyo Disneyland. And of course, we have to put on the little ears. I don't think I've seen a Disney line this crazy before. There's still 1 hour until the park opens. And look at that crowd already. We're finally bringing this Donald ball back to its home. For our first stop, we are going straight to the Beauty and the Beast ride. Going through Star Wars, we literally did not find the end of the Beauty and the Beast line. So now we're lining up for something else. Oh, it looks like Winnie the Pooh. And it's also raining. Lovely. Well, it stopped raining for a brief moment, but most people still have their umbrellas out. I guess it's gonna rain on and off throughout the day. So now we're lining up for Mickey's Magical Musical Show. Apparently, it's the most popular show in Disneyland. The line's finally moving again. This first show is all free seating, but apparently if you come to any of the later shows, you have to do an entry request on the app, and we weren't able to get any of them. Of course, to respect the performance, we didn't record anything during the show, but it was pretty fun. Even though all of it was in Japanese, only 1 or 2 songs were in English. It doesn't take away from the performance. Really cute show. And it's pretty funny that Donald only knows how to... Our next ride is the Space Mountain roller coaster in Tomorrowland. Shelly Mae is pretty scared. Wow, we just finished the ride and it's raining again. But that was pretty intense. It's so dark inside. It's not that steep, but it was just really, really dark. Trying to record it with an action camera is impossible.
感觉像是去了一遍滚筒洗衣机一样。
Yeah. Now it's time for the most important mission of the day. Rika and I both really love Donald Duck, so we have to go find him and take a photo. Donald Duck wa doko desu ka? Too bad we only get literally less than 30 seconds with him. But we still got some nice pictures, I think. Next up, we're going on the Mark Twain boat. Look at the line for Donald. It's twice as long now. Now it's time for the second roller coaster of the day at Thunder Mountain. This rain really is just non-stop today. Well, that ride was pretty worth it, I think. It's actually longer than I expected. And with it going so fast, you can't feel the rain anymore. Now we're a bit hungry. We're gonna try and find a place to have some food first. Ah, look at the wind.
We need to protect our popcorn.
The wind is blowing all of our popcorn away. Yeah, it's definitely a bit soggy, probably because of the rain and all the humidity today. And just as we bought the popcorn to watch the parade, they announced that the parade is cancelled due to the weather. Now, I wonder why. It seems like the rain has stopped a bit. You can even see a little bit of blue sky. It's nice to finally sit for a while after standing for most of the day. After the train ride, we went to the castle for some photos, and now it's time to return to Fantasyland and line up for Beauty and the Beast. Hopefully, we can finish before the night parade. This one is rated as the best ride in Tokyo Disneyland, but it's also nearly a 2-hour wait. Will it be worth it? That's the question. Ah, wind. Okay.
One eternity later.
Look at that, 1 hour later we finally reached the entrance of the actual queue. So we just finished queuing for the queue. The castle itself actually looks pretty nice. Well, at least it stopped raining. Probably only for a few minutes, and it's gonna start pouring down again, I bet. One hour and 15 minutes later, we finally entered the building. Exactly 2 hours on the dot, we are inside the cup ready for the ride. Well, so we just finished the Beauty and the Beast show, and it's already nighttime by the time we got out. Honestly, it was definitely one of the most immersive and beautiful shows in Tokyo Disneyland. But was it worth the 2-hour wait? Absolutely not. Nothing is worth that 2-hour wait. I don't think I would ever do that again. So we're here at the Hungry Bear restaurant, and we ordered some curries. There's a cute Mickey Mouse shape on the egg. I wonder how they shaped it like that. Well, they just say on the loudspeaker that the night parade is cancelled. The fireworks show is cancelled. Tokyo Disneyland really is no longer the happiest place in Japan. It's not even raining anymore, so I don't understand why this isn't happening. My guess is probably because of the wind. Highly, highly disappointing end to the day. And this is the only place we didn't visit in the daytime, Toontown. And well, most of the things are closed already. So I'm just here resting on this elephant. How unlucky of us.
Welcome to Rikasplanet. Where are we going, sir?
Let's head home.
Okay.
Just kidding, we still have 1 hour left until the park closes. We might as well make the most of it. I thought that definitely was a very, very underrated ride. We waited for 5 minutes only and the experience was great. It's a 4D movie and you can feel it when they make that jump to hyperspace. Really nice. Just as we were about to leave the park, we found the Pirates of the Caribbean ride close to the gates. So this will be our last ride of the day. What a really strange way to end our day here at Disneyland. Usually this is the time when Tokyo Disneyland has its signature night parade and the fireworks show, but there is none of that today. Yes, the rides we did go on were fun, but it's just not the full Disneyland experience. Of course, it's not Disney's fault. I'm sure if the weather was good, it could have been a magical day. But now I can't help but feel extremely disappointed and empty. The silver lining is Tokyo has 2 theme parks, and even though we only have 4 more days in Tokyo, now we have a reason to visit DisneySea as well. See you guys in a more magical Disneyland experience. Day 3 in Tokyo, and it's another day for exploring the city. Before all that walking, gotta fill up our stomachs. We are finally having sushi for the first time on this Japan trip. We are at Kuro Sushi, which used to be an 100 yen sushi restaurant. But now because of inflation, it's 132 yen for the base plate. So let's have some conveyor belt sushi. I know Kura is by no means high quality sushi, it's honestly quite average, but I think cheap conveyor belt sushi is all part of the Japan experience and we still had a great meal. After buying a 72-hour subway pass, we are heading to Tokyo Tower. At first, we wanted to take the famous staircase Instagram photo, but after looking at this line, we decided it's not worth it. Since the weather isn't that great either, let's head somewhere else. We are here at Uniqlo's flagship store in Ginza, and now we're going to design our own t-shirts. There's quite a lot of choices in their design book. After shopping in Ginza and having dinner, we are back to collect our t-shirts. When we arrived back at Asakusa, the rain started pouring down even harder. But on our way back to the hotel, we passed by an empty sensoji in the rain. I'd say this temple looks the best at night, and the rain makes the images even more stunning. Who knew that this unfortunate weather can lead to this unexpected discovery? Day 3 in Tokyo, and today we're gonna go to Shibuya in the afternoon. But first, we're gonna have lunch near Tokyo Station. Teishoku, set menu with a main dish, miso soup, and side dish, is probably my favorite form of Japanese dining. After a quick stop at Tokyo Station checking out all the old architecture, it's time for some shopping in Shibuya. Of course, in Shibuya, we have to visit the famous Shibuya crossing. But honestly, seeing it in real life, it's a lot smaller than I imagined. Maybe it's because I'm here on a weekend, so there are fewer office workers walking around. Anyways, let's cut to the evening so we can head to tonight's main event, Shibuya Sky. We reserved our ticket 1 month ahead of time and still we were not able to book the sunset slot. So do book way ahead of time. But anyways, it's a little cloudy today, so I guess we didn't miss the sunset. The next best option is the blue hour time slot, which we were very lucky to get. And this view did not disappoint. After freezing because we did not expect it to be that cold outside, we need to have a hot meal. Right outside the Shibuya Sky exit, we found a restaurant with a very nice bird's eye view of the crossing. And now we're gonna have something I've never heard of. Chazuke. It's basically a dish where you pour a dashi soup, or as the name implies, a tea, over the rice. We add some of each ingredient into the small bowl and in goes the tea. The tea definitely gives the dish extra umami flavor. I mean, I drink the tea and eat the rice together in a meal anyways, so why not mix it up? We also got a chicken dumpling udon served with yam rice. This sticky texture I'm not really a fan of, but the chicken meatballs and udon were delicious. Our Japan trip is almost ending. At first, we wanted to go on a day trip to Mount Fuji, but the weather report there was looking really bad, so we had a better idea.
After a less than ideal experience at Tokyo Disneyland, we are back at Disney Resort here in Tokyo DisneySea. And the biggest difference is that we can actually see the blue sky today. So will this be a good experience? Let's see. Tokyo DisneySea is what started the whole Duffy and Friends craze. So today, Rika is in all purple dressed up as Stella Lou!
Our first ride of the day is the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The concept is cool, but I feel like it's way too dark to see anything. So let's move on.
First roller coaster today.
We are going into the Indiana Jones adventure.
I am not a big Indiana Jones fan, but even putting the movie aside, the set design here is on point. It gives the anticipation of the spooky ride ahead. It's not really a roller coaster, but it definitely shakes you up quite a bit. Do come to this ride early in the morning. We only lined up for about 15 minutes, and usually it can be over an hour wait.
But Rika doesn't like it.
I can't tell, I just closed my eyes.
Okay, on to our next place. We are gonna go find Donald Daku. I got one Donald here, one Donald here, and a Daisy as well. Donald is still the best of the original Disney characters.
Donald makes my day.
Oh no, it's starting to drizzle again. This is bringing back so many bad memories. Please only be temporary.
Now we're heading indoors to wait out the drizzle. We are here at Triton's Kingdom for some Little Mermaid themed rides.
When I came to DisneySea over a decade ago as a kid, we kinda just brushed past this one. Even though all the rides here are for little children, weirdly as an adult, I can appreciate the whole design and theme more. We're gonna go on this fish ride simply because their expressions are hilarious. When we came back outside, thankfully, it stopped drizzling. Did you know that if you wash your hands in DisneySea, the soap dispenser is in the shape of a Mickey Mouse? I think this weather is just right for theme parks. There's blue skies, but a little bit of clouds to cover up the sun, so it's not that hot. And now we're heading to watch a show at Broadway Theater. This show is actually a jazz performance with no real relation with Disney except for the fact that Disney characters are doing the performance. It really brings back memories of my days in Chicago and New York. After the show, we are just in time for the first character greeting in the lake. I know it's not even a performance, but just the atmosphere of the event puts a smile on my face. Now we're heading to Arabian Coast. I've never been to the Middle East or any Arabian country, but I think more than any other theme land, this one really transports me to a different part of the world. Now we're gonna have some curry for lunch.
Umbrellas are out again, not because it's raining, but because it's scorching hot. Now we're waiting in line for the Magic Lamp Theater for probably an Aladdin themed show. So that was basically just a 3D magic show. Unfortunately, since all of it was in Japanese, we didn't understand the thing. But the 3D and the visual storytelling still worked quite well. It's just a shame we didn't understand the dialogue, which probably would have added a lot more to the show. Well, let's see what else we can find in Arabian Coast. I think this is by far the most beautiful region in Tokyo DisneySea. Here's a new ride, but I've never heard of this franchise before. Let's see what's inside. That ride was basically very similar to the It's a Small World ride in many other Disneyland. You take a small boat around a chamber with lots of miniatures inside. Nope. Now we're heading into Port Discovery. Here at Port Discovery, we're gonna go to the Marine Life Institute to find Nemo. That was definitely the cutest ride of the entire trip.
So cute.
It's like you're the POV of a fish and you can go swimming with Nemo.
By the time we finish the ride, the sun is starting to set.
Ah, sunset.
One thing DisneySea does really well is the transportation within the park. The gondolas, the electric railway, and the steamer line. The steamer line is the perfect place to enjoy the sunset. It's nighttime now and we're gonna take the electric rail back to American Waterfront.
Welcome aboard the DisneySea Electric Railway.
DisneySea completely transforms in the dark. Since we're here during Halloween season, all these decorations start to light up at night. But here in DisneySea, the best is yet to come. It's time for the signature nighttime performance, Believe Sea of Dreams. It's very hard to show the magic of this in the edit without the Disney soundtracks. Just imagine that you're listening to the song Every Wish Deserves a Dream, and let's enjoy this show together.
That is our day here at Tokyo DisneySea. It's really hard to capture this feeling on camera. It's really hard to describe this feeling as well. So you have to come see for yourself to truly experience this magical feeling. I said in the previous video about Disneyland that Disney is no longer the happiest place in the world. But I guess after today, I have to take that back. It really still is the happiest place in the world. What a perfect way to end our trip in Japan.
Sadly, it's the last day of our Tokyo trip, and today we're gonna go to Shinjuku.
In today's episode of Jeffrey and Rika Standing in Line, we are here in Shinjuku and we're looking for some tsukimen. The first shop we went to had a huge long line. The second one is a bit shorter. Let's see if it's worth it.
I like how no matter what portion you choose, it's the same price. We got a miso tsukimen and a soy sauce one. We also ordered the signature topping to go with it. The star of the show is definitely the ramen. We dip the noodles in the broth and wow, it is incredible. The thick noodles cling onto the sauce so well. Texture-wise, it tastes more like a udon. This is a whole new ramen experience and I love it.
That was the biggest portion of ramen we had in Japan.
Medium.
Yeah, exactly. We ordered 2 medium size, not even the large. I mean, this is a portion size I would expect in America, not Japan.
After some shopping and wandering around Shinjuku, it's time for some desserts. Matcha parfait.
This shop actually originated in Kyoto. We were supposed to have it when we were there, but we ran out of time. Here it is in Tokyo. It looks quite small from the picture, but it's actually twice the size you think it is. Oh yeah, that's so good. Soft, creamy, a little bit bitter from the matcha, and lack for a better term, it does just melt in your mouth.
But in hindsight, we probably should have ordered just one plate. I don't think we have any room for dinner anymore. Even though we don't have stomach for more food, we can't leave Shinjuku without checking out Kabukicho. And this is the end of our trip in Tokyo, Japan. To be honest, Tokyo was never my favorite city in Japan. I've always preferred visiting the Kansai region. But coming back here for the first time since I was a kid, I feel like there's still a lot to love about this mega city. The food, the temples, and just the convenience of a metropolis. Looking out into that cityscape that goes on and on forever, it's really quite a surreal feeling. Even though the trip is over, on the flight out of Tokyo, there is still one more surprise. So in the end, I did get to see Mount Fuji, and I guess this really is a brilliant way to end this Japan trip.
If you're still here, I want to say a big thank you for watching this hour-long special version of our Japan trip. Since this was Rika's very first time in Japan, we decided to visit the most touristy areas. But next time, I definitely want to explore other regions as well. I've always wanted to go to Kyushu, especially Fukuoka and Kagoshima. But anyways, let's talk a bit more about this trip. One question I get asked a lot, either from DMs or my friends and family, is how much money do I actually spend when traveling? Usually it's hard for me to give a useful budget breakdown for our trips because we would go to someplace for a month as a digital nomad and really only travel and explore the area for like 5 to 7 days, and the rest of the time is spent working. So this also means our day-to-day budget is significantly lower than if you're constantly traveling. But for this Japan trip in particular, it was a trip that we did non-stop travel for 14 days straight. So the numbers here might be a better reference for you guys. I broke down the budget into a few main categories: hotel, food, local transport, tickets, shopping, and others. For this budget breakdown, I did not include international flights because of course that will vary a lot depending on where you're flying from. Let's start with the most expensive part on each of our trips, and that's definitely the hotel or accommodations. For our 14 nights in Japan, we stayed in 5 different hotels with a total of $730 for 2 people. This is around $26 per person per night. And these are all the hotels we stayed at if you're curious. My favorite is definitely our Yokohama hotel. We are not luxury travelers, but at the same time, we're not really backpackers. So we don't stay at 5-star hotels, but we choose not to stay in capsule hotels or hostels either. We mainly try to stay in an affordable place, but also in a convenient location. Okay, on to the next category, food. We spent a total of $415 for 2 people. We almost never do fine dining. We prefer street foods, snacks, and small local restaurants. But even so, I still think we ate lots of delicious food on this Japan trip. There is a huge variety. The next category is local transportation. This includes all the transportation we took inside the country and not our international flights. We spent a total of $395 between the 2 of us. We didn't take taxi at all because Japanese taxi is just severely overpriced, but we utilized the amazing train and subway system. I think 90% of this local transport budget was put onto trains. Sometimes we took buses as well, especially in Kyoto. The biggest chunk of this local transport budget was our Shinkansen ride from Kyoto to Yokohama. That was a whopping $185 already, but if you have time and a lower budget levels, there are actually many local trains that will take you from Kanto to Kansai or vice versa, with some transfers in between. If you take the Shinkansen, of course that's more expensive. But also the Shinkansen is an experience, so it might be fun to take it once at least. The next category, tickets to attractions. We spent a total of $345. This includes attractions like Disneyland, Shibuya Sky, the Cup Noodles Museum, and other small attractions. A huge chunk of this was put into Disney since we went to both of them, but of course you don't have to do that. Many tourist sites in Japan, especially the temples, are free, so there are plenty of free attractions you can go to around this country. And then we have shopping. Japan is definitely a shopping paradise. Rika loved it so much, she bought so many souvenirs and stationery. Everything that Rika bought and everything that I bought added together, we spent a total of $385 for 2 people on shopping. This of course includes my Uniqlo t-shirts, the Traveler's Factory stuff, some postcards, and also just souvenirs for friends and family. Since we're constantly traveling around, it's difficult to take too much things with us, so that kept our shopping budget lower. And then of course there are lots of miscellaneous prices on our trip, such as laundry, SIM card, insurance, etc. These small expenses all added up to around $150 for 2 people. The grand total of our Japan trip was $2,420 for 2 people. This is around $87 per person per day. To be honest, I think this is a relatively mid-range budget for a Japan trip. I'm sure you can do Japan on a much lower budget than we did. We did spend some extra cost on Disneyland, Shinkansen, and all that stuff, but I think all things considered and how much fun we had, this is not really an expensive Japan trip either. And personally for me, I think this entire trip was super worth it. Let me know in the comments below if you think this budget breakdown is useful for you guys. I can definitely do more for our future trips as well. And that's the end of my Japan special. Hope you guys find it entertaining and useful at the same time. If you're new here, do subscribe to JH Medium for more travel videos coming soon. There's so many more amazing videos lined up. I can't wait to share them with you guys. Anyways, have a good day, travel safe, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.